Coming up on Agweek TV, lawmakers continue to work on drought assistance for the region's producers. We'll find out how the court ruling against NSIS line speeds is impacting the pork industry. The Agweek corn and soybean tour makes stops in North Dakota and Minnesota. And we'll meet the Minnesota Farm Family of the Year. Welcome to Agweek TV. I'm Michelle Rook. Weather was back in the headlines this week with uncertainty about exports with port damage tied to Hurricane Ida. It could take a few weeks to resume export loadings in the Gulf. And while most grain in our region moves to the PNW, this will impact the ability to get trains to move grain at harvest, which can pressure prices. Meanwhile, our weather has improved with the recent rain in the region, but the U.S. Drought Monitor shows little improvement, and governors in the affected states continue to push for assistance. South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem says it's one of the driest years in the state in the last century, and 62 of the 66 counties have been declared disaster areas to allow federal assistance. But she's working with neighboring governors on additional drought aid.
We have some grant programs through economic development and the disaster relief program, but a lot of the relief for producers that are actively engaged comes at the federal level and always has.
Noem says they're also pushing USDA to make D3 counties eligible for haying and grazing on CRP acres. The North Dakota Emergency Commission has approved $2.5 million in funding to reactivate the Emergency Feed Transportation Assistance Program. Governor Doug Burgum says this lowers the cost for livestock producers to secure hay during the drought. The Department of Ag is borrowing the money from the Bank of North Dakota for the program. The North Dakota Stockmen's Association and Stutsman County Sheriff are trying to find out how dozens of cows died. 58 pregnant cows owned by Brian Amundsen of Jamestown were found dead on July 29th in a pasture leased for grazing on the Arrowwood National Wildlife Refuge. Of the 80 surviving cows, at least 15 have aborted their calves. A $40,000 reward is being offered for information leading to an arrest. Investigators say the deaths don't appear to be from natural causes. Amundsen says some of his employees discovered the cattle.
I immediately went to the pasture, and then the whole process kind of started with calling the state veterinarian and the correct officials that needed to be there to help us figure out the what and the whys immediately, that there wasn't a threat to the other livestock, ourselves, or anybody else within the surrounding area.
If you have any information, call the Stutsman County Sheriff's tip line at the number on your screen or contact the Stockmen's Association. Pork producers are feeling the sting of an April 9th Minnesota federal court ruling against the New Swine Inspection System, or NSIS, line speeds. Labor unions challenged the faster slaughter pace, arguing it undermines worker safety. But an Iowa State University study indicates the slower lines will result in an $80 million loss to producers. It's our Agweek cover story. Holstone Farms in Fremont, Nebraska was one of the original 6 plants in USDA's pilot, testing the faster line speeds for nearly 20 years. CEO Scott Webb says they were running at 11,000 head per day until the court ruling went into effect July 1st.
And so now our daily capacity is more like 9,200 head a day. So that's had a pretty big impact on us.
He says they line up pigs from their farmer owners nearly 2 years in advance, so they're having to compensate for the 12% drop in capacity.
We will have the capacity to harvest all their pigs, but it will force us to run several additional Saturdays in order to accomplish that because there's lower line speed.
For the last few months, they've been working with USDA on a waiver and are looking at options such as adding a second evisceration line. But for now, less processing capacity at these 6 plants is having a negative market impact.
What it does, it has the equivalent of shutting a plant down and in the U.S., which is problematic as we look at trying to match up available hog supply and also plant capacity.
He says they've managed this summer because seasonally there aren't as many hogs, but in the fall those numbers pick up.
And so that's why it's really important to try and have USDA and the federal government kind of solve this issue, whether it's through an expedited rulemaking or an administrative action.
And Webb says they have 20 years of data to back up food and worker safety with the faster lines.
If you put it into a chart, line speeds over that 20-year period have just steadily climbed up, and you put on the same chart injury rate based on the OSHA rate has steadily gone down.
Currently, they're not looking at legal action and hope that sound science will win out. You can read more in the next Agweek magazine or at agweek.com. Coming up on AgweekTV, our corn and soybean tour continues with the check on crops in North Dakota and Minnesota.
Superior Grain Equipment is committed to quality and service. Protect your bottom line and your future with superior quality, protection, and reliability. Make the superior choice today with Superior Grain Equipment.
Steffes Group, selling land and the equipment to farm it since 1960. If you're interested in selling or have questions about our auction process, head to our website at steffesgroup.com to contact us at any one of our 4 locations located throughout the Midwest. You can also visit and subscribe to our YouTube channel to view all of our auction previews and recaps to stay up to date on the market in your area.
Saline can leave a field unproductive, so agronomist Greg Johnson was excited when he found out about a product called calcine.
Well, basically, calcine, they spray it over the top. There needs to be calcium carbonate in the soil to start a reaction. That reaction, in a nutshell, is basically able to dislodge the sodium ion from the soil particle and allow the calcium to take its place on the soil particle, and then we're able to flush the sodium out of the soil profile and down. And at some point, we will start seeing things like this, where this was black, and now we've got corn growing, and that's an awesome story.
Farmer Neil Johnson couldn't agree more.
It is worth the investment. I mean, we've got growth, we've got things that are happening. Because if we didn't do anything, we'd have nothing, and we'd be losing more, and it'd probably be leaching out further. Between the drain tile and calcine, you see now that we have vegetation.
Contact Jim Erickson or visit calcine.us.
Small or large, Superior Grain Equipment has a storage solution for you. From top to bottom, we offer the industry's best bins and warranties to protect your products and your grain storage investment. Make the superior choice today with Superior Grain Equipment.
Shatter Loss. It's been plaguing producers ever since the corn header was invented. Leading Edge Industries has the solution with Operation Harvest Sweep. Proven to reduce shatter loss up to 85% without pulling in excessive trash. The kits simply replace the deck plates and gathering chains on your corn header. Operation Harvest Sweep's patented design saves multiple bushels per acre, increasing feeding performance and drastically decreasing volunteer corn. Order Operation Harvest Sweep today at harvestsweep.com.
Thank you to our 2021 sponsors, Calcine, AquaYield, Corteva Agriscience, K&T Irrigation, and Ag Country Farm Credit Services.
A little rain has made a big difference for drought-stricken crops around the region. We continue our Agweek corn and soybean tour, beginning with the check in Minnesota.
Micklepate's in the Granite Falls, Minnesota area with the 2021 corn and soybean tour for Agweek. We're talking to Dorian Gatchell, the owner of Minnesota Agricultural Services. What's the message from the 2021 crop so far?
Well, don't give up on it yet. We do see a lot of variation. Some areas, some soil types, some topographies are definitely doing worse than other areas. I am an advocate of strip till. I really do like that technique or that practice. There is no one practice that is good for everything, but in general, I think that has a really good fit. As I was mentioning earlier, that windstorm that we had the week prior to when Iowa got really hit with that windstorm, right in through here, the strip till fields stood. You know, when I went out with the drone or was able to, get a hillside to be able to see over the fields, I could see where wheel tracks were standing and everything else was down. Or there was some other influence as to why the pattern in the damage. But when I come out to these fields that were strip tilled, it looked like they hadn't even experienced the wind. They were able to withhold. And really, it comes down to it was the soil that failed in these other conditions versus the actual crop. And I'm hoping that same condition, that same soil condition is going to let the resilience in these dry years show through.
I'm north of Mandan, North Dakota with Spence Koenig of Direct Ag Supply. We're going to take a look at the difference between corn that's been irrigated in western North Dakota and corn that has not. So Spence, what are we seeing here in this field?
So basically where the water didn't hit from the pivot, we have nothing. There's some stalks and a couple little tiny ears. where we go in just a little bit ways here, and that's where the end gun hits, and night and day difference where the water hit.
We've heard a lot about the potential for corn just not making enough to even bother combining it. What are we seeing as far as are people chopping, are people baling? What have you seen in your customers?
There's a lot of both going on, but most of it's getting silaged due to the fact that the nitrates are so high on it. So there is some baling going on though too.
Is there much for corn on pivots in this area?
There's not. Probably 5% of the corn is under irrigation, and that all looks really good. The GDUs were there. There's going to be some really nice irrigated corn, but the dryland corn is, I've been hearing reports 2 to 5 ton is probably what everything is running for silage, and not a lot of ears on any of it.
North of Mandan, North Dakota, I'm Jenny Schlecht on the Agweek Corn and Soybean Tour.
Minnesota's 2nd District Representative Angie Craig is focused on helping farmers through the drought and other obstacles. As Noah Fish reports, she recently visited an organic dairy farm to hear their concerns.
Let's get a picture.
Representative Angie Craig paid a visit to the Zweber family farm to see how they're farming in the drought. Tim Zweber's family has farmed in southeast Minnesota for more than 100 years. Over the years, the farm has evolved from crops and livestock to dairy to an organic operation today.
And now we've gone back to doing pigs and chickens and eggs, and still don't do crops any. We just do it to feed the cattle.
Zweber says they don't want to be totally dependent on dairy, and like many producers, the drought has been hard on his operation. But he says conservation practices are helping them survive it.
This is really heavy soil, and it rained so much that we were drowning 2-3 years ago, that there's still moisture down there. But I'm more afraid for next year than I am for this year, that it's going to be, next year's going to be the bad year if it doesn't rain.
Craig says as a member of the House Ag Committee, she's been asking producers what Congress can do for them to help them survive the drought. She's also been appointed to the Select Committee on Economic Disparity and Fairness and Growth. They're looking for other ways to help rural America.
My specific area is to look at how do we build economic growth in rural communities.
Craig says they're looking for policy solutions that will lead to a greater economic growth in rural America. In Elko, Minnesota, this is Noah Fish for Agweek.
Ahead on AgweekTV, we'll meet some farmers honored for their work in agriculture.
Advanced Grain Handling is your regional dealer for grain handler dryers, bins, and accessories. With Grain Handler's continuous mixed-flow drying systems, you're capable of high levels of grain dryer efficiency on all types of grain, including seed grain. Advanced Grain Handling also carries West Steel's quality galvanized steel products for on-farm and commercial grain storage solutions. Advanced Grain Handling has licensed and trained service techs and a licensed electrical shop. Get a hold of Chad Kylo to find the perfect solution for your farm.
I am Kevin Johnson, president of Gateway Building Systems. I started with Gateway back in 1974 on the construction side. The next year went into the office and sales, and in 1977 became part owner. We've got a great team of salespeople, designers, project managers. The key to Gateway is our people. Our customers appreciate the quality and reliability.
I know you didn't ask me to, but I grabbed your mail for you while you were out of town. This one was marked urgent, so I opened it for you. It's your bank statement. Are all those charges right? I highlighted the bottom of page 3 where you can sign up for e-statements.
This isn't my mail.
E-statements with Cornerstone Bank. Keep nosy neighbors at bay by switching today.
At North Star Ag, we're more than your short-line machinery dealer. We're also full service, and we're farmers first. That means we know it's not about what's best, but what's best for your farm. Whether you're planting, growing, or harvesting, we're there for all your equipment, parts, and service needs. And we've been doing it since 2009, with the largest inventory and availability in the area. Check us out at northstar-ag.com or call us at 701-361-4790.
Don't miss out on the equipment you'll need next season. Titan Machinery, your local Case IH dealer, has early order discounts on its full line of powerful, efficient, new Case IH equipment, including tractors, combines, and self-propelled sprayers. Get a great deal and ensure that you have the latest in productivity and technology. Supply chains are tight. Contact your Titan Machinery dealership today and find out how much you can save by ordering ahead. Titan Machinery, your local Case IH equipment experts.
The region received more rain this last week, disrupting the remaining spring wheat harvest. But what's ahead for the row crop harvest? Here's John with our AgriWeather outlook.
The heat wave of this summer has dissipated. It has gone down, and now we're looking at a weather pattern as we move into the month of September, not only in the northern plains, but really relatively so nationwide, where we're not going to see a lot of extremely hot weather, nor are we going to really get the first weather cold enough for any freezing temperatures into the United States. Now, there will be some areas of hot weather, but it will not be that abnormally hot for the location for the time of year. And as far as precipitation goes, that's also stepping back a bit. The latter part of July and in some cases this past weekend, this past week has been quite rainy, but now we're looking to see a lot of that settle down. The jet stream pattern, it's going west to east, of course. There's a little bit of a ridge in the northern Rockies, a little bit of a trough through the Great Lakes. Nothing major. It's actually a fairly weak jet. The hot weather, the 90s, the 100s, that's mostly limited to the deep south. It will nose northward up into this ridge, but it's only going to be in the high plains and just east of the Rocky Mountains and, of course, the Mojave Desert and much of the southwest. Gulf Coast will have some hot weather. We're not going to see any really cool weather develop. Some areas of Alaska will have some sub-freezing weather, and way up in northern Canada, north of Hudson Bay this week, but that really should be about it. As we head toward the end of the week and the weekend, there will be a bit of a switch as a little trough of low pressure begins to enter and move through, but it looks like just a little glancing blow. If there's going to be any, well, there probably won't be any really heavy rain anywhere. The best chance of that looks like it's going to be southern Canada and an area that could actually use the rain. Temperature-wise, as we go through the week, we will watch the cool weather kind of reform in the west. There will be a few incursions of pretty cold temperatures dropping down to about the level of Churchill, Manitoba, where you may have a couple of days where it doesn't get much above freezing, but the hot weather or warm weather or mild weather will continue across most of the United States as we go through this 2-week period. Toward the end of this period, it does appear we are carving out a bit of a trough, but at this point, it doesn't look really terribly cool. There'll be some chilly temperatures in the Rocky Mountains, but nothing really unusually so. Precipitation-wise, this time of the year, tropical systems really run the rule and really make the rules, is what I'm trying to say. And at the present time, it appears that most of the tropical activity, and there's quite a bit of it out in the Atlantic, will likely stay in the Atlantic. Storms headed toward the U.S. will have a tendency to recurve, so there may be some heavy rain areas up in the Canadian Maritimes, but a lot of the central U.S. will be pretty dry, except for the Gulf Coast and the far Pacific Northwest. The second week now, we're getting into mid-September. Looks like a little dry slot here. Get some ripening of that, finishing off of that corn in the Corn Belt. There will be some rain showers in the northwest, maybe some rain into the northern plains, but very likely not much heavy rain anywhere.
Join us Friday, September 24th for a free one-day ag safety training program happening at the North Dakota Safety Council campus in Bismarck. The course, ideal for anyone in ag or related fields, will teach you best practices for working with chemicals, ag equipment, grain handling, storage, and livestock. Space is limited. Register today at ndsc.org/ag-safety. At Trans Systems, every day is a great day to haul beets. Our family-owned business moves more beets than anyone in the world. We enjoy good work and good pay, and many of us have been here for decades because it's a place where our opinions are heard and our accomplishments are seen. We're your home every day and can take summers off. Here, our safety and yours matter most. Trans Systems, a sweet haul in the Red River Valley since 1983.
They say when the going gets tough, the tough get going. At OK Tire, we're here to keep you going. From Firestone tires and replacements to retreads and even Firestone tracks, we have you covered. Our certified Firestone experts are ready to get you back up and running, no matter if you're on site or in the field, saving you time and money. OK Tire, we keep the tough going.
This is Dennis Beliski reminding you we do auctions and we do them well. You've built your operation with hard work, and when it's time to sell, all or part, you deserve the best. Details from repairs and preparation to promotion and settlements are not routine. Chances are you'll only do this once, so we'll tailor an auction just for you and get it done right. On-site at your farm or added to one of our highly successful Alaris Center auctions, we have the skill, reputation, and integrity to meet your needs with best-in-class commitment and quality service. Find us at resourceauction.com or call 701-757-4015.
Shatter Loss. It's been plaguing producers ever since the corn header was invented. Leading Edge Industries has the solution with Operation Harvest Sweep. Proven to reduce shatter loss up to 85% without pulling in excessive trash. The kits simply replace the deck plates and gathering chains on your corn header. Operation Harvest Sweep's patented design saves multiple bushels per acre, increasing feeding performance and drastically decreasing volunteer corn. Order Operation Harvest Sweep today at harvestsweep.com.
This is a busy time of the year on the farm, but it's also the perfect time to be thinking about new grain bins and dryers. As Rose Dunn found, advanced grain handling systems of Mayville, North Dakota can save you time and money.
The Nelson family raises corn, soybeans, and wheat on about 6,000 acres in eastern North Dakota. They're busy, especially this time of year, so they decided drying and storing grain on the farm would save them time and money. They turned to advanced grain handling systems of Mayville, North Dakota for help.
Needed something to help speed harvest. Biggest concern was labor. We weren't getting enough fall labor at harvest. This way we can do it ourselves a little more efficiently.
In fact, the efficiency starts with the planning stage. Owner Chad Kylo says their family-run business takes care of every step.
You call us, we design it, we lay it out, we give you your bid on all the millwright side, grain bins, legs, grain dryers, and all the electrical, so you aren't dealing with more than one contractor. Once you turn us loose, then the next time that we go through a lot of stuff will be when we're going to get ready to show you how to run it.
Being able to haul grain to the elevator on their own schedule rather than straight off the combine will give the Nelsons much more flexibility. And Nelson says he appreciates how easy it was working with advanced grain handling.
These guys are all in one. That was one of the big draws. They were the general. They took care of the electrical. They took care of the cement, took care of everything.
Kylo says their best prices are in October and November, and their crews work all winter to get your project done for the next season.
Our biggest goal is that we plan early and we're done early, so it's ready for harvest. The best time is when you're actually out using your own site during the fall, because that's when you remember what is going on and the changes you want to make.
Everything went really smooth. Their crew was phenomenal.
The Nelson system has a 280,000 bushel capacity, but Kylo says they can design any size of system and they can easily be expanded in the future. Near Arthur, North Dakota, this is Rose Dunn for Agweek.
For more information, contact Advanced Grain Handling at the number or email on your screen. A Northwest Minnesota farm family recently received a big honor. As Emily Beal reports, Mark and Brenda Jossen were named the Clay County Farm Family of the Year at the 2021 Farm Fest.
We farm several thousand acres, owned and rented, farm wheat, soybeans, and corn.
The Jossens are a combination of town and country. They farm in Clay and Norman counties. In fact, they farm both Mark and his wife Brendy's great-grandparents' farms. But they live in Moorhead, where they raised their kids. Mark says he enjoys keeping up with the changes on the farm.
I enjoy technology. In fact, right now we're working on this combine trying to put a Trimble auto steer in it, yield monitor. Corn, soybean varieties have just gotten a lot better. Precision ag has been, I think, a real advantage with auto steer and things like that.
The Jossens' son Bryson helps out when he can. Another son, Carson, joined the operation after college. He said he's proud of his family being honored for all their hard work on the farm, and he's looking forward to a life on the family farm.
I've always liked being out here, really enjoyed farming and kind of being able to spend time with family while working. I always thought that was really cool.
Mark says they're touched to be recognized for their work.
It was quite an honor. I was totally unexpected, but yeah, it's a very nice honor to be recognized by them.
At Hendrum, Minnesota, this is Emily Beal for Agweek.
The Dakotafest Woman Farmer Rancher of the Year was also recognized at the show in Mitchell. South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem announced Audra Scheel of Alpena as the winner out of 5 finalists. She's a full-time farmer and runs a third-generation diversified livestock and grain operation. She says the role of women in agriculture continues to grow and evolve.
women can be a part of ag in so many different ways, and just truly stepping up to the plate. And we already wear many hats on our farm and ranch operations.
She says women are truly the backbone of the ag industry, and she was humbled to be honored for her work. Still ahead, we say goodbye to Jonathan Knutson as he heads into retirement.
Challenges. We all face them at some time. But it seems that ag has seen its fair share over the past few years. Has your farming operation been able to stand the challenges? If not, maybe it's time to talk to the risk management specialist at Martinson Ag. We can help you make the sound decisions to help your operation weather the storm. Martinson Ag, your one-stop shop for crop insurance, livestock insurance, and marketing. We are here to take your operation to the next level.
You can get the field results you want in varying conditions with the flexibility of the Summers VRT Renegade. Featuring on-the-fly blade angle adjustment from 0 to 19 degrees. And if you want the simplicity of a super coulter with the ability to move a little dirt, you'll love the all-new Summers Super Coulter Samurai. Go to summersmfg.com or visit your local dealer to learn more about North America's broadest line of tillage equipment and other products from North Dakota-based Summers Manufacturing.
Join us Friday, September 24th for a free one-day ag safety training program happening at the North Dakota Safety Council campus in Bismarck. The course, ideal for anyone in ag or related fields, will teach you best practices for working with chemicals, ag equipment, grain handling, storage, and livestock. Space is limited. Register today at ndsc.org/ag-safety.
Every dollar counts on the farm, especially in this year's dry conditions. There's a new technology that uses nanoparticles for more efficient delivery of nutrients to your crops. Rose Dunn gives you a look at how nanoliquid technology works.
AgweYield was first introduced to this region in 2018 by Erickson Custom Operations. Aside from the excitement of offering a new technology that works, growers across the Midwest are achieving higher yields and a better crop while reducing input costs through nanoliquid technology.
No special handling, easy to use, 4 ounces per acre. So really low use rate. You can put it in furrow, you can foliar apply it. And I mean really all from between $3 to possibly $8 on a per acre cost to you to try it. So very inexpensive.
To learn more about how AgweYield works, contact Jim Erickson at ECO at the number or email on your screen. This week, we're saying goodbye to Jonathan Knutson. He's retiring after a long career in journalism, much of it at Agweek. Jonathan began his career in the mid-1980s and grew to become one of the region's most respected ag journalists. He came by his love of ag naturally, growing up on a farm near Mackville, North Dakota. We asked him what stories he's most proud of. They include the long, slow rise of Devil's Lake and how that affected farmers in that area. Plus award-winning stories on the controversy over cultured meat and disastrous flooding around Towner, North Dakota. Jonathan will continue to write his Plain Living column for Agweek magazine. Thanks for watching this week's edition of Agweek TV. Remember, for all your ag news, go to agweek.com or follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Have yourself a great and safe week.